Commence primary ignition.
Hello there. This is Dave with another another episode of Celebrating Autographs. In the build up for Rebel Scum Con, reminder coming soon, Rebel Scum Con, August 8th through 10th at the Frisco Conference Center. And Boonta Eve, of course, our event right here, sponsored by VIP Home Theaters, the Boonta Eve that has all of these amazing guests that will be at the Rebel Patio and Bar and Grill, which is going to be, it's an after hours event from Rebel Scum Con, so you can attend the con all day on Friday and then come join us for more autographing fun. But building up for that and celebrating autographs, we've been talking to you about all the guests, and we've talked to you a little bit about what you need to get autographs. How do you protect them? How do you have the right pins, the right equipment, the right poster tubes, the right backpack, everything to protect that giant investment that you have, right? So please watch what we're going to air for you right now, which is it's a re-air of Spencer and I really getting down and talking about that. That was our preparation celebrating autographs for Celebration Japan. So we're going to re-air that special, but everything we're really talking about is going to be applicable to any time you go out and you get your autographs. I'm fresh from GalaxyCon Raleigh. I'm there this weekend. That's why this isn't live. I'm actually probably getting autographs as we speak. And I like to get my autographs on stuff, right? We'll talk about that in there. I'm going to be getting this done at Rebel Scum Con. I like books. I've got some autographs on diskettes. Okay, this is for very specialized from the movie Hackers. I get stuff on action figures and, comic books occasionally. Like I said, also many different types of action figures. That one you could get an auto on the cardboard. This one you pretty much have to get it on the window itself. And so there's different kind of pins and markers and things that you would want to do. And then there's different kinds of protectors. This is a kind of, it's hard plastic, but it's really a soft plastic because you can really get even like harder protectors that I really like to keep my autographs in permanently. So anyway, I'm just doing a quick introduction, and go ahead and watch and enjoy this rebroadcast of our episode of Celebrating Autographs from Celebration Japan, and really learn about all of the things that you need to do it. And again, join us at Boonta Eve Special Edition, Friday, August 8th, sponsored by our friends over at VIP Home Theaters and all of our other friends out there, Artawigs, Galactic Pickers, Plum Askew, Long Live the Mouse, Cillabrookdale Candle Company, Travels Bazaar and Treasures, My MTA Travel, Jennifer Lyles, right there, the super small writing, Andy's Boat Repair, and The Mood. All of those people, thank you all for making this possible. But yeah, check out our event. If you got any questions, you can always mail us You can mail us or take a look at virtualcantinanetwork.com, and we've got some email stuff listed over there. Or you can email us directly at virtualcantinanetwork@gmail.com. But yeah, check it out. Hope to see you at Boonta Eve and Rebel Scum Con. But until then, may the force be with you.
Commence primary ignition.
I was the Wampa ice creature in The Empire Strikes Back, and you're watching the Virtual Cantina Network.
Hello, everybody. I see what you did there, sir.
As we try.
Yes. Welcome to another season of Celebrating Autographs.
Woo-hoo.
And this
Celebration
time,
Japan edition.
Yes, sir. We are talking Japan. I'm wearing our very nifty Virtual Cantina Japan shirt right here, which is available on our TeePublic site.
If it looks good on the baseball. I love it with the baseball with the white and the black sleeves. That's nice.
I love the 3/4. Like I think it's one of my favorite kinds of shirts. But yeah, very excited about this episode. We're broadcasting right now, not only on the Virtual Cantina Network, but also over at Star Wars Autograph News. So we'd like to thank our partner, Frank Rich, for allowing us to do that. Frank will be back in 2 weeks with Mark Von Olin to get ready for hopefully the not so virtual cantina. But tonight, we're talking celebration, baby. We're talking autograph haul. We're talking prep for celebration, how to get ready. Please get there. But if you want to ask a question, if you have some inquiries that are going on right now, what, how, and who you should be getting your stuff signed by and how they should do that, Dave, how would they enter the conversation?
There are so many places that you can reach us. But, right there, if you just connect StreamYard.com/Facebook, connect your Facebook account to StreamYard. And then you can just comment right here on the little video and it will show up and we will do our best to answer said comments. Like if we look right here, hey, what's going on? We got some people in the chat going. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris, what's going on?
How is it going this evening? So, yeah,
great
you guys
to see
got
you guys.
the memo.
Yeah, great to see you guys. We're very, very excited. We're about 70 some odd days away from celebration right now, which is ridiculous. But now is the time you should be starting to prep, as obviously with autographs on sale right now.
Do not wait till the night before the con or the night before you leave for the con.
Oh, yeah, because Dave's going to MegaCon tomorrow night, which is a complete crap show. Good luck. May the force be with you, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
Indeed. Yes, Geekmasterlight.life can't wait to get to Japan. But like I said, I've got to do it through MegaCon. I'm packing my con bag, getting my stuff ready. Whew.
Gonna hit up that Skeleton Crew reunion.
Absolutely. Yes. All of the Skeleton Crew peoples. It's gonna be great.
What a great lineup. You got all the kids, plus also you got Jude Law, who's going to be there. Just really, really cool.
In addition to that, Bryce Dallas Howard I'm looking to get Bryce on that piece as well. It's
Ooh, so that's a great
Look.
question. Would you get John Noe on your N1? If John Noe was involved in your N1, absolutely. However, absolutely, I know that you're planning to get Doug Chang on that. I was actually over at Target the other day texting Dave that they had a bunch of the Micro Squadron N1s available, the Target exclusive.
Yeah,
I'm always an advocate for that. Dave, even more so, Dave is an advocate for unusual pieces.
I love to do the toys and stuff, and we'll get to more of that later. But if you're talking about getting a toy ship signed, there we go. We have the builder of the Razor Crest right there. We've got John Goodson on that. That's one of those little. This is the Star Wars mission fleet that I have the box for it back there.
But yeah, so what we're going to talk about first and foremost before we get into the guests of Celebration is prep for your autographs.
Yeah.
There's many ways to prep. There are many things you're going to need to have in your con bag if you're planning to get autographs. And we'll tell you other things. I mean, there's little things that you could add on, little nuances. Like, for example, I always have painter's tape.
Ooh, that's a good one.
In my bag. Also, I always have extra Post-its, because sometimes if I'm waiting in line and I want, if they're just doing assembly line and I want it in some other place that the actor is going to probably mess up, put together a Post-it with an arrow on it, boom, right in front of them.
And if you have an unusually spelled name, you could just go ahead and fill out like 10 Post-its with the spelling of your name on there and just be ready.
Or you could take or if you need to do like a paint tester, like I know Dave does his poster tube, or I might do it on a top loader.
I cleaned this one as I've been doing it. I've been testing them on the back of my phone case, but I've cleaned this one. I do it on my poster tube, but yeah, I do it on the back of my phone case sometimes. Just prime those. There you go, Peter. All of your income for 2026.
Yes, but anyway, let's get started in prep first for autographs, because the thing is that, and I'm going to reiterate this, there's a lot of misconceptions about getting autographs at Celebration or at cons in general. I always believe in being over prepared for Celebration, because any other show that you're going to go to anywhere is going to be a cakewalk compared to Celebration,
except for maybe MegaCon.
Yes,
and
well,
New York Comic Con.
You're a glutton for punishment. But that's neither here nor there. The more prepared that you are for your autographs at Celebration, the better you're going to be, because they're going to do an assembly line for most of the time. Their pens might potentially run out before you even get there. It might not be the right color. They might not have a piece that you want on their table, and you think you're going to get a table photo. Be forward projecting about what you want and what you're going to spend your money on. If you don't care, great. If you do care, we're going to prep you. Make sure that you have
person.
Yeah, make sure.
Or the other thing is find one of us in line.
We might have a color.
We will happily skip the line ahead to join you if you need a top loader or a pen. No.
Yes. I always carry extra top loaders in my bag in case I run out or someone might need one while I'm there. But we'll get to the top loaders later on when we talk about Itoyas. But Dave, why don't you start us off?
Well, let's flip it over right here. Hang on. We'll make the slideshow a little bit bigger so you guys can see everything that we're talking about. So give us just a moment to flippity flop that over. See the snazzy. Oh, there's our logo right there.
Ooh, we will let you know what a top loader is in a few minutes, Mr. Young.
Yes, we will get to all the questions and the things. We're going to go down the line of the most frequently asked questions. And if you have other ones in addition to that, please, of course, ask. So, yeah, here's the first thing. Got to get ready a poster tube. Yep. See, you got plastic. I got cardboard because my plastic one's already packed for MegaCon over there.
This is a lifesaver in many capacities because you're going to be getting a lot of free posters, especially if you're going to panels. When I went to Orlando 2017, I got that great carry tribute poster, and I had to buy at FedEx office a paper tubed one, and then and have that strapped to my backpack, which was a pain in the ass. And then, started bringing posters and stuff. Having your own poster tube is a lifesaver in itself. And also Dave's gave me a very cool trick of how to bungee cord it to my con backpack.
Yes.
So basically I'm not strapped with so many different straps from there. But this is also a lifesaver, especially as well. Let's just say you don't have a case for your Darksaber or your hilt. This works as well.
It does. I have an expandable plastic one that goes like all the way to, I think, somewhere around 40 inches. And so what you can do is expand that, like put a piece of a pool noodle in there, and you can carry your lightsaber blade, or you can carry the hilt, or both on some of the shorter sabers. But even if you don't have a poster, take a tube. Even if you don't, because the con, it's the vendors at San Diego made so much money on me because I didn't have posters going to San Diego Comic-Con, and I got free ones, and I didn't want to mess up. And I got free ones and the opportunity to get the free ones signed at the same time. So I'm sitting there going, damn, back to the poster vendor. Here we go. Or the poster tube vendor. And I think I bought 2 or 3 at San Diego Comic-Con. So take one. Yes, is we don't speak Australian English. We speak bad American English.
At least we don't drink. At least we don't drink Fosters, though.
I do. That's okay. Australian for beer.
Okay. You go for a traditional Australian meal at the Outback.
Oh no. But yeah, get yourself a poster tube. Find a way to strap it. We'll talk about that with backpacks or something. Or if you're carrying light, maybe you just get to carry a poster tube if you can do that. But in addition to that tube, this for your small
Itoyas. So Itoyas are your friend. I always carry with me an 8x10 and 11x14 in my bag. And I have an Itoya Joanna with the lion tonight.
And there's the Australian in the
crew. Anyway, an Itoya is great because I have ones just for cons and also ones for, buy series, show, whatever for there.
Yeah.
But they're acid-free paper and acid-free sleeves inside. So your items won't get stuck in heat or any kind of weather. And also they will transport well. Obviously, make sure that your item is dry before you put it into your Itoya. Yes. But it's a great thing to have. Now, here's the thing is, you go to a lot of cons, you might see vendors with this. This is a top loader.
Yeah.
It's just an 8.5 by 11 one. These are fine if you're getting a couple of these and get autographs or photo ops and put them in your bag to bring home, but do not store them in this.
No.
So many times I've had weather issues where I tried to open up my top loader and the picture inside fused because of immense heat.
Yeah.
Into the top loader. So
what I carry is I have an Itoya for my con bag, and I have a home Itoya. And I try to be a little bit downsized. I don't do as many prints as Spencer does. So I have one. I have the 11x17. Everything, all my 8x10s and my 11x17s go in here. When I get home, they come out of this one. So I have a beat to crap one that lives in my con bag, and I have a nicer one at home that I transfer everything into for permanence. And like he said, if I'm just taking something quickly to a con, like I'm getting ready to take this to the con, is I'm going to put it in my top loader. So I have, quick access to it, and I can just go ahead and pop that out, get my signature, and pop it back in.
Right. But protecting your autographs is important. I've seen people get autographs and just throw them into their bags, and you're spending money, to have these autographs. By the way, Felix, that's a great question. We're going to get to that in a little bit.
Coming. You are reading our mind. You are into the future. We're there.
Yeah. You're so in the future. You're almost by Pete Young right now.
That's right.
But the thing is, I've seen so many people that I cringe every time I see someone just throw it into their bags. That's one of the reasons why I carry extra top loaders with me. Like, here, they're going to charge you $5 over there. I'm giving you one right here. Just put it in there. You can fit 2 or 3 in there comfortably, transfer it out by the time you get home.
You know what we need for swag? We need to do virtual Cantina top loaders.
That's not a bad idea.
You're welcome.
Yes. Spaceballs a flamethrower. No, it's merchandising, as you say. But yes, I can never talk bad about Itoyas. I've seen people come with, which I did before I got really much involved in autographing, with an 8.5 by 11 3-ring binder with plastic sleeves. Those are fine for going to the con, but not for storing long term.
Yeah.
That's like if you don't have a top loader, those work, but you don't want to just store them in there. There's something to say, like, for example, if you're getting a comic book signed, to put it in the plastic bag, different kind of paper.
Yeah. You got your acid-free bag and the thing. And 2, sometimes we'll get to comics in a minute. Hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So let's look at our next one here. Oh, look at there. What do you know? Comic book bags and boards. In a pinch, these are like a cheap alternative to a top loader. You can get, if you get the older size, like the magazine sized, it'll fit in there. If you get the comic book, the hard cases, it's essentially the same thing, except it's a fat top loader. It would like be this, but it has like a little bit more of an 1/8 or a 3/16 of a dimension, so you can actually fit a comic inside it. But just regular bags and boards, having those is super helpful. A lot of cons give a con exclusive comic, or at least a con exclusive cover, and you got to have something to do with it. The comic folios, these things that will put multiple comics in, super helpful. I don't always use that. I use the old school. Back in the days, the comic boards came in a cardboard box, an acid-free cardboard box, because they're acid-free backing boards. I still have one of those, and I've been using it for 15 years. Probably not as acid-free at the moment, but so you keep your supplies, and it's perfect for the comics. They don't slide around as much. You can put that stuff right in there. What do you say about the comics there, Spencer?
I really don't have too much to say. I mean, I know we have a lot of comic, signers out there. I've, just started delving the last 2 years, so I'm really not that adept to comic book or CGC or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
I'm more about, either cast pieces, 8x10s, Funkos, props myself, so I can't really speak about that. But I'm still very much about preservation of my items, whether I am displaying them, keeping them in an Itoya on my shelf, or, anything of that nature.
Well, this is what I'm talking about right here. See if you can see it. See how this is a little bit thicker than that Itoya there? That fits my comic. And this is a comic that is bagged and boarded already in there. So I've got it in the acid-free bag and board, and it just slides in this nice little hard case. And that's another level of protection. Had that sitting there because I do usually have that displayed. You're not always going to find those at every con, or you're going to spend a whole lot of time looking around the aisles to find it. So bring it with. It's super easy to order those on Amazon ahead of time, or go straight to the brand that I have here. Is not the only brand, but go straight to BCW online and you can get all these supplies. Just order it in.
Excellent.
All right. Right there. Here we go. Backpacks. All right. You start talking and I'll be right back. That's mine's over.
Okay. So specific con bags. You can get a regular book bag that's completely fine. I have actually a specific backpack that I have just for cons. It has room for if I want to put a laptop. It's almost like a tactical bag, like Dave's talking about right there. But I can fit my 11 by 14 and my 8 by 10, and also we'll talk about Funkos. But I actually accordion folder. My accordion folder can fit in there as well. All my paint pens, my supplies, any medicines I need for the day, deodorant, which that should be in your con bag. I can't emphasize that enough.
Not on our list. That should be on our. We need a slide of that.
You see, I talked about getting VCN swag deodorant, but I was voted down from that one.
Yeah, extra pockets right there.
Yeah,
for your extra lanyards. See, there you go. I carry medical tape, not painter's tape. But
so, I mean, I also have a bag that actually has a USB cord in it. I have it that I can actually charge. My bag could actually charge as a charger. Ooh. If I wanted to do that. I barely use that. But you can utilize a backpack, a laptop bag. One thing, though, I don't know if it's in the slides as well, but you want to get yourself a good brick charger and also personalized chargers, because you're going to be taking pictures. The Wi-Fi is probably horrible there. You want to make sure that you have enough juice to do everything that you need to do. I ran out of juice my first celebration on a 2-hour line.
There we go. See what they're talking about? Right there. Just right there. Bungees immediately to it with this tactical bag. When I'm going for full prep too, is we've got ones that this has straps over here on the side that I can just Velcro this to.
Mm-hmm.
This is Felix. This is eBay. I just kind of looked for tactical backpacks and looked for the.
You're going to make me get mine, aren't you?
That they had. Yeah, I'm going to make you get yours. But I also have that I use for smaller cons that I'm not going to. Is I use something a little bit more like snazzy looking, a little less looking like I'm carrying a weapon. But Boba Fett. Yeah, Skip, is you can do that. Is any place where they print plans, they'll have tubes there. You can get Amazon has all the things.
Yeah, I got this at Amazon. You can see, like I have in here, I have like electronic cleaner, some top loaders, just for supplies, got multiple zippers and everything of that nature. But also, in the same vein of having a backpack, let's talk about if you're going to be carrying a bucket with you.
Let's wait till we get to that.
Okay.
I got horror stories on that.
Okay, because I have my motorcycle bag with me, which
mine is currently doing something else downstairs. But yeah, we can get to that when we get there.
Okay.
Heroes and Villains is a good place. Heroes and Villains sells that Boba Fett bag. I got mine off of eBay, but yeah, that exact Boba Fett bag is on Heroes and Villains as well.
So here's something that's great about the Heroes and Villains. Shut up, Jeff.
No problem, Jeff.
The Hero Villains has a great one that's actually made for bounding at Batu. Like they have an area for your saber
printed. It looks kind of like a Star Wars tactical bag.
Yeah, so it's got a place for your saber in there. Now, I always make sure with my own personal backpack is that it has one of these mesh sides to it, because I bring a Brita bottle with me, because first and foremost, you're talking about $7 for a bottle of water right off the bat. Your
Also
Brita
good
bottle, you could fill
swag.
it up. You could. There you go. Hey, you can fill up your Brita bottle anywhere you go. It's in your backpack. So if you're sitting there in line, you just grab your bottle, take a swig of your water, and go on, rather than having to spend the money and going from there. So making
Spencer's
sure.
bougie. I refill this one. All
Let's
day.
not talk about bougie, sir.
I'm just saying.
But yes, there's great place to get your backpacks, and there's plenty of time to get one too.
Yeah, I think Skip has like 2 or 3 different heroes and villains backpacks.
He's got one for every outfit.
Well, it has to match. Come on. But yeah. And then what do you put in there? What are we talking about? What do you get the thing signed with? Yes. Oh dear Lord, the talent has those. But like Spencer was saying earlier, you don't know. Do they have the color that you need? Do they have the color that you want? Is it going to match all your other ones? You know,
or were they just doing assembly line, running the pen until it's dead, and then switching it out?
Yeah,
I have a great autograph it was a great autograph from Walter Koenig,
Mr. Chekhov,
that he wrote the nuclear vessels in Alameda, and his pen was almost dead, so it's almost faded and gone at this point.
Yeah.
For every con I go to, I buy new paint pens and I buy new Sharpies, and I make sure that I have them, and at least the first one is primed before I even go to the con. And I might have multiple already, because I'm already planning. I have an Excel spreadsheet of what autographs I'm getting, what color, what quote, or anything of that nature, and I'll make sure that I have 2 or 3 colors of that particular pen on me. Now, Dave likes the acrylic. Is that what it's called?
I can't pronounce it. The ones right there in the middle that are drawing on the rocks. I like those.
Yep, you love that one. I love Deco Paint Pen. Also, the Premium Smart from Michaels. It's the Michaels with the Premium Smart. We always hawk the Trek.
Yes.
Here on the VCN. It's got the black label on the outside of it. I find them sharp. They're really nice. I do a silver deco.
These?
Similar to that, but it's a Craft Smart Premium.
Oh, okay.
So I always have plenty of paint pens, plenty of Sharpies on me. Regular pens, because you never know that kind of scenario. Sharpie paint pens they're touch and go, honestly.
So let's talk about here. We're talking about the kinds of pens, but let's talk about why we have all the different kinds of pens. Why is it that we don't just carry Sharpies or we don't just carry paint pens? Why is it that we need to carry multiple things or like your metallic Sharpie? Why is it?
Because we're crazy.
Yes, well, that too. But so you have to have the right pen for the right material. Okay. Depending on what you are getting signed, it is going to take something different. And there is a kind of pen that will work the best. So, when I'm getting a toy, a piece of plastic signed, I need a paint pen. Yes, a Sharpie will mark on it, but I don't think it's as permanent. When you're getting your bucket signed right there, that requires, is that a silver Sharpie? Is that a silver paint?
This is a Deco paint pen.
Yeah. It is you got to do it. And sometimes you need to test ahead of time. If you're getting it on like the plastic on a toy is you're going to want paint and it's going to take a long time to dry. What do you like for like a poster, Spencer, for just like a regular poster? What do you use?
It really depends. I mean, I only use Sharpies if I have to, or if it's not, for a certain reason. I'm always a fan of paint pens. But going back to what you said before about testing out your paint pens.
Oh, yes.
make sure that your paint pen is primed before you go to con. At least your first one. And this is why I say this. And I'm going to put myself on the ledge right now. 2018, I got a $40 autograph with Ashley Eckstein. I know. Okay. $40 autograph with Ashley Eckstein.
Flip that.
Unheard of. So I bought 4, which is the price of 1 right now.
Yeah.
I walked up to her with the pen not primed, meaning I unwrapped it in line, but didn't. Yeah. So her assistants are shaking up the pens, getting the paint flowing for me while I'm holding up this line because it's an Ashley Eckstein line. As Scar said, be prepared.
Be prepared.
Okay. Yes. You want to make sure that you have the right pen for the right item, knowing the right things, that your time is perfect. And also be very careful about that. Like, for example, here's a perfect example. When I met D. Bradley Baker.
Oh, yeah.
3 different colors, 3 different paint pens, 3 different things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be specific.
Oh, yes.
Even if you have to, like I mentioned, even if you have to do Post-its yourself, be as specific as possible to do what you need to do.
Yeah, and like you said, you want the right color. You want everything. And I'm saying test it on a material that you have in a place first. I happen to use some deco colors for an art project that I was doing here recently, and I was doing them on a rubber basketball. They marked on there great. They went fine. It didn't dry for 3 days. So, yeah, that deco on the rubber was just, for whatever reason, completely insane. You get something like that at a con, and you are 6 levels of screwed.
I would have done a Sharpie on that.
Well, we wanted it to be permanent. Like I said, it was an art project, so I was making a 1,000 point ball.
Okay.
So I'm the one writing the 1,000 and the person's name and the whole thing on there. And like I said, really nice, made for it. It's a presentation ball. And I need the more colors and the things. I did end up using Sharpies for some of it. But like I said, that deco to get my nice, sharp black outline was beautiful. Just didn't dry. But yeah.
That's a great line, Pete.
The 5th level of screwed. Yes. Indeed. So, but yeah, have the right pen for the right thing. Test it out. Some things, if you're doing comics, is you may not want a paint pen because that's going to bleed through. Right. Use a lot of your Sharpie or whatnot. Or again,
yes. Good point. Good point to that. If you're getting a comic book or a book signed, like for example, let's just say that Timothy Zahn's there.
Yeah.
Perfect example. If you're getting a Sharpie to sign your book, and it usually goes to the title page, consider putting either a top loader or a piece of cardboard underneath that page that you're getting signed in case of bleed through. So it doesn't bleed through the entire book.
Yep. I had to do that. Very important because
that'd be messy.
Sergeant Slaughter, G.I. Joe, he likes to sign when he signs the issue where he first appears. He does a 2-for-1 for it. It's great. Sarge signs the cover, but then he opens it up, flips through to the page in the middle where he actually, the first panel where he is, and puts yourself a second signature there. So
that's awesome.
You got to make sure that you get all those things. But yeah, we're down the rabbit hole there. If there are any questions, keep them going. But otherwise, we're moving on to like this. What? Why are you? We just talked about the talent has this stuff on the table. Why are you, other than the fact we're obsessive compulsive, why do you need to bring your prints?
So there's always going to be that one time that you saw that actor and you're thinking in your mind, you're going to get the perfect shot, the shot that you want. Perfect example. Just after we found out that Keller and Beck, Mr. Ahmed Best, who was a guest, obviously at Celebration, became the savior of Grogu.
Yes.
On his table was the character poster and not the shot of Kelleran Beck with the doors open or Kelleran Beck with the saber. I didn't need another Jar Jar in my mind. So I decided that I'm going to try to make sure that I find the right shot that I need to get printed. If I want to get a poster done,
There's
sometimes
nothing wrong with having the right Jar Jar.
Exactly. Like Dave said, you might go to a con and they might give away posters that is the best thing to ever get signed. Or you might decide you want to get something printed and you go up to an actor who's not really supposed to be talking about the property that he's in and freaks out because you're getting something signed. That's never happened to Dave. Did he do that?
Did he do that? Do you got any cheese?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like some of the examples we have on the page is you really love this Samuel L. Jackson shot here, and you're going to a con and Sam's there, and he doesn't have this shot on this table. But this is what you really had your heart set on, is something like this. Or going around the line is Alan Tudyk is going to be at Star Wars Celebration. I am not the hugest fan of K2SO. Wash and Firefly, love. Okay. I need to take that, or actually I'm probably going to take a toy, but don't count on them at Celebration to have something from another property. They may, but they may not. If you want that property, have it.
2019, Jason Isaac actually had a Lucius Malfoy print on his table, but it was a print that he brought with him in his bag. John Faison did not have anything from Clueless or from Scrubs. He just had from Resistance. So if you got another property that you want to get something signed, they'll sign it. They have no problem signing it. I was watching I'm watching Suits right now. And Simon, Mr. X Woves, is a hitman. I'm like, what the H? If I saw Simon again, I would maybe get something from Suits signed. But that's not going to be on Simon's table. So be proactive.
So this is a good question, Jeff. And I mean, I think people are going to have different experience from different people, and it depends on who's manning the table. I have had experience that most of the time, if you're bringing your own print to be signed, no, you don't get to pick something from the table.
It depends. Yeah.
Yeah. And then sometimes there's a table set out to pick your thing and nobody cares. And if you're having your own thing signed, you pick up one and you make a game time decision. By the time you get to the table, it's like, no, I'm going to do my own. But it's always what I say is with anything is every handler and every celeb is going to be different. Ask, be polite, and see what they say. What do you think? Are you frozen? He might be frozen. So another thing to think about and do as well would be, if it's a new project, something new that's coming out, is Andor. Season 2 is not. Oh, yep, he dropped off. Is season 2 isn't necessarily have any sort of poster or trailer or anything like that yet. So go look up the logo online and print that out and have that with you. You can make a cast piece just from those things, unless those people happen to have that on their table. What Spencer was talking about earlier is Jaleel White announced that he was going, or leaked that he was going to be in Skeleton Crew. Well, we kind of, Spencer and I, or Spencer sent this with me, had the Skeleton Crew logo before there was anything else, no posters or anything. Skeleton Crew logo in the middle of a black 8x10 or 11x14. I don't remember what it was. And just had all of those people sign it. We got, before the show came out, we got Marty Matuis to sign it. I presented it to Jaleel White, and Jaleel was just like, "Oh, where did you get this?" It's like, I know things. It's like, here. And he was happy to sign it. He was just, hey, down on the down low. And I couldn't get him with the fooling because he's like, "Okay, what do you want on it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, just put your name and your character name." And he's like, "Oh, no, you're not getting a character name from me yet." So he was good about not leaking that. But if you're doing a cast piece, bring this giant poster here and get all of the autos on the same thing. I'm taking this Skeleton Crew poster. This was from Disney Rewards before they went belly up. It's a full-size theatrical double-sided poster, and I fully intend to turn this into a giant cast piece with every creator, producer, writer, actor, anybody that I can find, because look how much amazing light-colored space there is there for signatures. You want to think about that. Where is the signature going to go? That print of Samuel L. Jackson has a beautiful open space on it, and they don't have to write over top of other actors in there. That's one of the kind of reasons.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to do it. Or art here is, I hear a little birdie told me that at MegaCon this weekend, that print that you see of Ahsoka is Ashley Eckstein's going to be giving those out at her panel. So, be ready to get what you want, and maybe we'll have it signed. Maybe I'll have it signed at MegaCon. Maybe I'll bring that one with me to Celebration, because it's a whole lot easier to lug something flat or rolled up in a poster tube than a bucket.
We'll get to that.
Yes. Anything else to say now that you're back on the prints and the posters and the art?
No, I think we said it all, but make sure that, obviously you're prepared. Like, here's a perfect example. Doug Chang. Doug Chang probably has some incredible prints on his table.
Yep.
Yes, I am bringing some stuff for Doug Chang to sign on the side, but I'm getting an extra autograph of just getting something from his table, because it's probably be something good. That's something that I'm not going to worry about, what's going to be on the table. But if it's an actor, you might actually care about that.
Yeah. And you're a big art guy there too, Skip. You do a lot of that.
Yeah.
But here we go. Here. This is me. This is what I do. This is my game time. This is why I have to prepare months upon months in advance, because I would, for the most part, rather have something, a physical signed. I absolutely love getting vintage toys, figures. An easy go-to is a Black Series. And you can see that I have it in this nice acrylic case as well. So here's a little kind of hack for you. These cases are going to get trashed to hell in your luggage and in your con bag. So I have a couple of crappy ones that I put the figure in just to go back and forth to Celebration. And then I have nice newer ones that, I use for display at home. You can get the soft ones. I don't like these. This figure just happened to come in this one. I mean, it's not soft. It's protection. It keeps the dust off. But if I put this in the wrong place or in a stack, it's going to crush this. Those hard acrylic cases are my go-to. They make the ones that are really specific for each kind of figure. For all of the square and the angled and then the super wide Black Series figures, they have all that. Like they make them over there for that Power of the Force Luke. They have specifically those. Be super careful if you're getting something vintage. I like to do it. I'm months ahead of time. I'm on eBay. I'm on Amazon. I'm combing the flea markets. I got super lucky, and right before the family vacation I went into a vintage toy store, And hanging right there on the peg was the Jedi Master that gets killed when they go into Palpatine's office. That was Tux, hanging right there on the peg. I had never seen it in person before, and it was hanging right next to a Boss Nass, who we also had someone there to sign that. So it was really cool. And no, to your answer right there is, I don't think it's frowned upon to have them sign non-Star Wars stuff. I have a Firefly, a wash figure that I'm going to get signed. This isn't my wash. This is my Kaylee, but it's from this series that I'm going to take to Japan and have this signed. And
I got what abs, Pete? What abs? I actually got in 2019. I actually got Donald Faison on my Turk from Scrubs pop. So it really depends upon what you want to do. I mean, I'm sure Andy Serkis had a lot of Gollum, even though he was signing for Snoke and for Kino Loy. So
and have the right thing and be prepared, but like, look at this Darth Vader that's over here in the corner. That's a beautiful statue. It's an amazing toy or figure or whatever you want to call it. It's out of the package. Is there anywhere for the talent to sign on that? Maybe not. So you really got to consider, is there a broad enough, wide enough space? Again, is on this Razor Crest, I chose to have it out of the box. I didn't want him just to sign it because I want to display it as this, but it's got this big flat side. That's where I went for the signature. You got to think about those things. If you want to get super creative at the thing, this I lugged to Anaheim to get signed by, you can't quite see it there, Anthony Daniels. So, it's whatever you're willing to pack in your suitcase. But if you're going to be looking for vintage or something, look ahead of time. Look far ahead of time. Also consider, there are some people that are going to be really cautious about signing something. The big thing that over here in there is the send-away, the first figures. What this escapes me. What is that called? The mail-in, yes. I took that to have Jim Swearingen, the creator of those figures, sign it. Jim looks at me and he looks at that thing and he's like, I am not going to sign this. I will devalue this. It is so special. I will devalue this by doing it. And I was like, Mr. Swearingen, I so appreciate that. That's amazing. Thank you. This is not the original. They did put out a reissue of this, a recreation of that in, I don't know, the 90s, maybe early 2000s. And that's the one I had him sign. So that's the one I had with me. So, just be prepared for that kind of thing, or be prepared to tell them that, hey, no, this is the one from my childhood. Wicket over there is, I had Warwick sign the bib on that. And it's like, it was very important that I had that done. But I didn't have him sign it on the plush there. I took the cape, the cowl, and I had it laid down, and we stretched it very flat on the table and held it very, very still for him to get that. Know what it's going to do. Are you going to sign on the card back? Do you want it signed across the plastic? What pen do you need? Where do you want it signed? What color does it need to be? Jim Swearingen, like I said, I've got it right there. He has a beautiful, beautiful signature in a white deco, and it's big right across the space on that. So you got to find them. No, I had the not the cape part on the back. On Warwick, it comes right across his front here.
But yeah, he was talking about the Vader.
Oh, you could on the Vader, but I worry about, I haven't seen this one in the round. I worry about if it's wrinkly, if it's too wrinkly to do it. If the cape was flat, you're right. That would be a great place.
But just look at things. I have the Malfoy Kane wand set, and I had Jason Isaac on it, and he had to be very careful signing it because of the curvature of the cane. So make sure that you have a good surface, or at least if they're willing to work with it.
Right. And consider, sadly, consider the age of your talent. I would not ask Billy D. Williams to try and sign something super small in a tiny area that was difficult to get to. Wouldn't do it. I don't think you're going to get a good signature for that. But, Spencer knows that for a certain person that will be announced later, I have something about this big that I'm going to ask him to sign, but I'm pretty sure that he will have the dexterity to do so. See how I got there? Didn't give anything away.
I like that.
But moving along too, beyond figures and toys is here's the next one in there that you guys have been asking about. Big stuff. Helmets, buckets, large props.
Bulky, as it's being called.
Yes, you are going to see there are bulky prices. Some people are going to charge more for this. If you are getting these things done, expect to pay a little bit more. 20, 40, who knows what, just depending. You can use these as a cool cast piece. I love that Stormtrooper that everybody's using as a cast piece. It's got lots of good surface area.
Your Clone Wars.
Yeah, I have the same thing with the Clone Wars. If you run out of room, this is what I love about the troopers. I have over there a Clone Wars bucket that I've started to get everybody in the Clone Wars cartoon show. And you're like, holy crap, the animated thing, there are literally thousands of people in that. They're clones. There's more than one helmet. When I run out of room on one, I buy another one. And I just keep adding to it, and I can set all those buckets next to each other. This is one of my biggest bucket pieces that I'm attempting to do to get all the living actors that have played Boba Fett.
And I'm working on it as well.
Yeah. And this is a good one to where I have a specific black paint pen that every one of these guys uses. I do not let them use their own pen. I bring it. And that pen, I've been doing this for long enough now that pen, I don't trust it anymore. So I have a new one that's the exact same brand, the exact same kind, that is what I carry with me when this is going to get signed. Now protect your items. Oh, dear Lord.
So we're new-ish to knowing exactly what we're doing when it comes to kind of that. Dave, tell them how you transport your bucket to Anaheim.
Okay. So my bucket to Anaheim, I put it in I put it in my carry-on. I had the carry-on that unzipped. I put it in the carry-on. I packed all of my clothing in the bucket to keep it from potentially crushing. Like I'm putting my clothes inside the helmet and all around the helmet to keep my clothes from rubbing on the helmet. And when I came back to potentially rubbing off those signatures, I took a really like a lawn and garden, a brand new heavy duty lawn and garden, construction grade kind of, trash bag, cut it down so it just fit over the bucket. So it was what was actually rubbing on the bucket, but all padded just in my one little carry-on. And that's basically what fit in my carry-on. I don't recommend that now.
So yes,
I think I kind of did, Jeff. It's just like I think I probably kind of did put the dirty.
I had spoken to one of our members about how to transport buckets, and they recommended a good motorcycle helmet bag. Yeah. Now I got this great one over here called Raider Elite, which was like $20 some odd on Amazon. It's fleece lined inside, so it will not scratch your autograph on your bucket. Also, if you are transporting, like for example, if you got a small wheelie that you bring on a plane or anything of that nature, you can attach this bag very easily to the top of the handle of your wheelie to transport it. It can be a personal item. So I do recommend that. Now, both Dave and I are praying to Kron that we don't have to bring a bucket with us to Japan. But there's always that possibility. Make sure you have something that's good to transport your bucket with you, or your saber hilt, or whatever prop that you're going to be bringing. I mean, it's apropos, no pun intended, that you got the Poe Dameron bucket sitting right there.
Oh, that's purposeful, because that's going to be, we're going to talk about his bulky price here in a little bit. That's what it is you got that. Now, here's the other thing that you can do if you don't care about, if you intend on displaying your buckets outside, like, in like they are here, like you see, the Black Series ones, a pretty good made to take it is the box it came in. Now, it is going to get beat to shit, in your luggage and carrying it around, but it was made for it. I don't do that because it's a lot to get it out. There's a lot of flips and flaps, and it's
you don't have time.
Yeah, you don't. That's why, again, I've adopted, and I've got sitting right over there, I've got the motorcycle bag. So I took that to, I think I got Carson Teva on that one, Paulie, in that motorcycle bag. And it was very convenient, super easy. And guess what? I added a couple of carabiners to the handles of that bag. And guess what it does? Clips to the tactical backpack.
Another thing. So, yes, you're weighing yourself down, but protect your items. Even when you're going from event to event, or con to con, or table to table, you want to make sure that if you are not staying, in Japan, it's very difficult unless you're staying at the APA or the Hotel Franck. But the fact is that you're not, it's not like traditional celebration that you might be staying at the Marriott or the Hilton next to the con. You can drop stuff in your room and then come back. Make sure you're protecting all your pieces that you're bringing with you, which goes to something that I hold near and dear to my heart that I will talk to the ends of the earth about.
Uh-oh. We're going to fight on this one. There's a fight to be had here. So Go ahead and tell people how you do it.
So what you see there, as far as the Ian McDermott pop, is my pop that I got signed at Celebration 2019 in Chicago. I, since day one, started signing pops. I am a top signer of pops. My philosophy is I paid for the damn toy. I want to see the damn toy. So I get the autograph on the top because the paint pen or the Sharpie soaks very nicely into the cardboard. However, I tend to get quotes on the side panel. So that's why you see that right over there. Now, the way I transport, do I have it even nearby? I thought I did. I thought I had it.
Well, while he's looking, I will give you the opposite.
Okay.
I don't believe in removing and taking just the pop box. I am a firm believer, and I carry the pop as it was intended, assembled with the insert, with the figure inside, and I go ahead and get it in this hard protector, these hard acrylic ones. You can get them at any place that basically sells pops. You can get them at Walmart, for crying out loud. They have these things. And again, I have a couple of crappy ones that I take to the con with me that get scratched up and beat up, and they go in my con bag. But you put the pop right in there. You can put you've got your auto, and then I have the nice ones that we keep. Why do I do it this way? Because I'm that person and crazy enough and have to carry large amounts of bulky items, but I like them signed on the front. I have these shelves over here that sit on my wall where they display sitting like this. Well, I wanted to see it on the front. I see the top, but not quite as much. So I want to see it on the front, and I want the talent to sign the window where they can see the pop inside. Some talent doesn't care, but some talent will. I'm going to sign it a little bit lower so you can still see the pop inside. I'm going to do the name here, and I'm going to move it over to the side so you can still look at and see what there is.
So with what Dave was saying is that back in 2017, when I was in Chicago, I got an inordinate amount of autographs, and most of them were Funkos. And I didn't want to carry as many boxes like Dave was talking about fully. So what I did is I found my old accordion folder. Yeah, well, Skip, one day you'll be one of us. Where I can put a great amount of Funkos in here by taking the toy out and folding it to its already natural creases. So I can have multiple days, but I can set it by day. Like for example, here's my Rogue One Cassian Andor, the Target exclusive. It's already prepped, ready to pull out, put on the table, and sign it. Very easy right there. And then I can put it back into here, and this whole entire case will fit directly into my backpack. That way, if I'm doing multiple Funkos, maybe let's just say more than 5. Anything more than 5, I'll probably do this. Otherwise, I'll put it into my Itoya. I'm already having enough bulky things. Unless I'm win Funko and I'm buying Funko, I'm not going to be flying or looking to ship a whole box of Funko back with me. So that's why I do it the way I do. There's no rhyme or reason to do it either way. I just recommend this. If you're doing multiple, this is the way to go. Unless you're crazy and you want to fill an entire box full of suitcase full of Funkos, good on you. And may the force be with you.
That's what I do. That's the way I just do it. Is I'll take them, and like Spencer said, I'll stage them. I'll have certain ones that I'm doing certain days. I've got a cardboard box that I'll carry this one from. I try and get like a narrow cardboard box that will fit in the big tactical bag. And then I've got like 4 or 6 of them in there at a time, and I can take them out. Here, this talent does it back in. Here, this talent does it back in. And the same thing with all the figures and things like that is you've just got to stage them. And Andrew, I understand completely people who just do 8x10s, and I respect that as well, because there's so much less storage. Your home wouldn't look like mine. You're behind me for that. But I don't have as much I don't have as much space to kind of display that. The walls in here are kind of angled, and they won't fit picture frames super well. So if I had all 8x10s, they'd live in my Itoya, and that's where they'd be. And I could look at them when I went through that, but that would be it. And what I love, and totally respect what Skip does as well, that photo ops are the best for autographs. Is he is well known for, he'll schedule his photo op early on in the con, and then get it, and then take it to the talent and have that memory signed. Completely respect that as well. But toys are my deal, and I'll do Funko Pops if there's nothing else. If there's not a Black Series, I'm going to be doing Manny Jacinto on a Funko Pop, because there's not a Black Series for Manny. So
great question from Jeff. So So my answer is that I would not recommend that for this particular celebration.
Hell to the no.
just because of customs and a whole bunch of other rigmarole, we shipped stuff to London in plenty of time for Boonta Eve, and it sat in a warehouse for 2.5 weeks at customs before we got it. Now, when we had the 5th day of celebration in Chicago, which is a shopping day, I bought this really nice Regal Robot Han and Carbonite plaque. It was the big one. As soon as I bought it, I went right to FedEx office downstairs at McCormick Place and shipped it home. Right then. I didn't want to schlep it around con. I didn't want to have it on me as soon as I got it. If you know that the shipping is going to be good and reasonable and easy, ship stuff home or ship stuff to your hotel in advance. When we did ICC Con last year, I shipped everything directly to our hotel in Nashville. And as soon as the event was done, we were literally, as we were cleaning up the room, repacking the boxes, relabeling them, and dropping them off at the front desk before we went out for the evening, after the event. I wouldn't recommend it for any European or Asian shows unless you really have no other choice. That's just me.
I trust no one. I don't even like to the more valuable or the more important items and things go in my carry-on. Okay, they have to go with me. They're my carry-on or my personal item because that motorcycle bag works amazingly as a personal item. That is where they come and go. You can actually put the boxes. You can fit a Funko or two inside of a helmet and put them in that motorcycle bag as well. So I try, like I said, not to. And on the way back, for sure, is none of my clothes really go in my carry-on. It's just things that I've had signed. So it is right there with me, and I have control over that. I have had to put things in my checked bag, and I am just a nervous wreck the entire way home. But it's the way it is.
One thing I will recommend for this trip as well, which I started testing out when I was going down to Florida, is especially if you're traveling not only internationally, but if you might have a layover or two on your way to Japan, I have air tags. I went and picked up some Apple AirTags to make sure I know where my bag was. And I can just check on my iPhone where it is. Yeah. So just something to keep in mind for peace of mind. I have an inordinately long layover on the way to Japan back and forth. So I want peace of mind during that time.
So yeah, but that's kind of the prep and the stuff. That's what you need. There's other stuff. We'll kind of go through this again more quickly on other shows.
Which would be absolutely fantastic. But once again, thank you so much for joining us for celebrating autographs tonight. Thank you so much for joining me on this show tonight. It's been absolutely great. Don't forget to follow us on all the social medias and also check out our great TeePublic store. We have an incredible amount of incredible shirts for Japan, including this great kanji shirt right there.
A lot of Japanese ones. The I know.
Yes. And the hello there.
Hello there.
Yes. So we got some great stuff right there. But once again, thank you very much for being part of our great group. 71,000 members right now, marching on to 100, hopefully by Japan. And as always, may the force be with you.
Always.